Alright guys, this is coffee, and I'm gonna be honest with you. For the rest of the month, I'm gonna answer the rest of the questions that I have. I'm not gonna be able to take any more new questions that I will answer on video. What I will do though is I will reply to your comments in time, and or they can be topics for live streams. So if you have a question, definitely feel free to ask your question down below, and maybe it'll become a live stream topic early for next year. Get ready. All right, welcome back. Thank you so very much for tuning back in. I have a group of questions for you guys today. So today's question, or the first question, comes from Perry Anderson. Perry says, you may have told us this before, but what is your go-to rub for briskets and ribs? Perry. It's one of those things where I don't talk about what I put on my briskets, and I don't talk about what I put on my ribs for a reason. And that reason is there's some things that I just want to keep, or I need to keep for myself. And also, I can help you cook your food. I can't help you flavor your food, because what you like and what I like can be completely different. So that's one of the reasons why I don't talk about what I put on my rubs and or what I put on my briskets or ribs as far as rubs. So yes. And continuing with Perry, he asked a follow-up question when I kind of answered or gave him the answer. He says, what's your favorite barbecue sauce? Perry, I have a favorite as of now. This barbecue sauce, it just holds a special place in my heart because it was the sauce associated with when I got brisket for really had brisket for the first time, and that's Rudy's barbecue sauce. I've told you guys I really like that barbecue sauce, and it's more of a reminiscence type thing. I know it's probably not the best barbecue sauce out there, and I definitely don't use it. I use Rudy's barbecue sauce on other things than barbecue. I typically don't put barbecue sauce on my brisket, or like I put barbecue sauce on ribs, but that's just like ribs barbecue sauce the way I grew up. But as far as my go-to barbecue sauce, it would be Rudy's barbecue sauce. But that's right now. There are plenty of sauces and things like that that I know I haven't had, because I know there are sauces that are available in other parts of the country that I've never been to and just don't have access to. So I know that there's probably something out there that I will like as much or possibly even more than Rudy's barbecue sauce. I just probably haven't tried it yet. Now, as far as my go-to sauce in the house and for my family, they really like Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just our like house barbecue sauce. That's the one that's readily available, and I keep it around the house. So that's the one that I use for that. And as far as the sauce that I use when I'm cooking, obviously I'm not telling you what that is, but it is something that I buy off of the shelf for consistency's sake, and it's something that I doctor up. So hopefully that answers your question, Perry. And we'll get on to the next one. This next one is also spice and seasoning related, so that's why I put these all together and filmed them in one video. All right, Sarah Little says, Sarah Little says, what do you like to put on your grilled pork chops? So Sarah, here's the thing. I don't grill pork chops. One, and you may be new here, you might not know this, I don't eat pork. My family does. I just don't eat it for health reasons. But when I'm cooking pork chops for them, I typically fry them. I don't grill them. Pork chops are a very lean meat, and oh my goodness, my family has a problem with lean white meat. And if I were to grill pork chops, I'm telling you, I don't care how underdone they would be, or I could cook them, they would have a problem with them. When I fry pork chops, just because the moisture is kept in those pork chops, they usually never have a problem. And it could also just be like the reminiscence type thing. So I don't grill pork chops. Again, as a rule, I will almost always fry pork chops when I do cook them on occasion for my family. The next question is also spice or seasoning related. So it comes from a guy, his last name is Peter, his middle name is Normus, and his first name is E. So I read that backwards on purpose. Anyway, he says, I have a question for you. Do you ever change the flavor or spices you use on your meats or only stick to what works? I have developed a profile for my customer cooks. I do a lot of experimentation when it comes, or I do more experimentation when it comes to my family. But even with my family, if I change up the seasoning, they will push back like, what is this? Daddy, this isn't normal. What did you do? What did you do differently? Now there are times when that works and there are times when it doesn't. Trust me when I tell you, I tend to experiment more for myself when I'm cooking than for my family, because I get tired of cooking or trying to cook for them, and it doesn't, like, they're like, no, Daddy, this isn't good. So I know that I have to cook for myself, try it for myself. If I like it, usually they'll like it. But there again have been times when I will put something on, like I used Uncle Steve's shake, the Gator shake. We love Gator shake, but my son, my taste tester number 2, wanted to put Gator shake on some ribs. My wife was like, the ribs are okay, the ribs are done well, but why do they taste like citrus? Why are we putting citrus on ribs? Citrus on pork? It just doesn't. That's just not what I want. So she was looking for a specific flavor type or flavor profile, again, as you kind of say, and it just wasn't that. Did she eat them? Yes. Did she enjoy them? No. So that's why, again, I kind of stick to what I have experimented and figured out what works or what has worked over time. And hopefully that makes sense for you, because again, nothing like spending umpteen hours cooking something and then I give it to my family and they turn their noses up at it, and I'm just like, well, that was a waste of time. Definitely. I hate that. So I try not to do that. Again, I'll experiment on myself more before I experiment for them. So thank you, Peter, or Mr. Peter, for asking a great question. Username, subject, but question spot on. Thank you guys so very much again, as always, for watching. If you have not already, please do subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, turn the notification bell on, and all those other things YouTube makes me say. They don't make me say it, but they kind of, Anyway, do those things for me, please, and thank you. And I'll see you guys next time.
More water, baby.